Okay, we live. Story time. So this is crazy. Okay, so what happened was we're in Morocco, and our time in Morocco was split between Casablanca and Marrakesh. And we're in Marrakesh, we did like some day trips to other places. So all of this to set the tone to tell you. So when we hit Morocco and we traveled from Casablanca to Marrakesh, we took a train. So we took the train from Casablanca to Marrakesh, did our thing out there, and then it was time to travel back to Casablanca again via train because we were catching our flights out of Casablanca to head to the next country. So that's the setting. This is the scene. So we're on the train heading back to Casablanca. Mind you, it's a known thing in Eastern countries that like pickpocketing is more prevalent. Like it's a known thing that's just what they do, especially tourists or targets. Which I'm not, crime is everywhere. Like that's not a thing. Like, and I really don't just talk about it that often because I want people to just like write off the whole country as crime ridden and think that like that consumed my whole trip. Like it didn't. Like life happens, okay? So nonetheless, pickpocketing is a thing. So whole trip, my time in Morocco, I'm being vigilant. You know, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, making sure all my stuff is close to my core. So you got to keep it like under your jacket, or I had a little sling pack that kept all my valuables in, including my phone because it has a little phone sling. So this is where the error comes in. So I made the fatal mistake when getting off. Well, okay, so the train was coming to a stop at the train station in Casablanca. So, you start getting your stuff together, getting prepared to get off, because that's the most stressful part of a train ride. If you don't know, getting on and off is the most stressful part because you got to move quick. The train don't be holding up that long. So I'm getting all my stuff together. I got my bags. I had like 2 bags. And in my section of the train where I was, it was 2 random people. I was going to call them randos. 2 random people sitting there with me. Like, I ain't going to say it was them, but they were looking at me without looking at me. You know what I mean? Like, why are you looking at me so hard? But again, I'm not going to blame them. Innocent until proven guilty. But nonetheless, the fatal flaw I made was when getting all my stuff together, because, you listen to your AirPod on your phone during the train ride. Instead of putting my phone in my sling pack inside my jacket or putting it in my pockets under my jacket, I put it in my jacket coat, like right here. It was one of them nice, little trench coat type things, little pea coat vibe. It was right here. Baby, by the time I made it off the train, walked into the train station, my phone was gone. And it happened. And this was the worst part. The realization was the worst part, bro. So I was like, ooh, I want to get a video of this, still being a tourist. I put my hand in that pocket to grab my phone and felt nothing but lint and empty hopes and dreams. And instantly knew this is not real life, bro. I put my hand in that pocket and everything just collapsed. I was like, this is not happening. This is not happening. And I was like, my phone is gone. And my peoples, they were like, no, you just put it somewhere else. Like, you misplaced it. Because mind you, early in the trip, we misplaced the passport. And we ended up finding that thing. Like, it wasn't really gone. It was just misplaced. So everybody think, like, this is another one of the situation. I'm like, no. Like, off rip. Like, bro, I know I put my phone right here. And now my phone is not right here. It didn't walk away on its own. Like, bro, I just got bro. So I'm having to convince them at the same time of processing, like, bro, I just got robbed. Like, this is real life. So they finally started believing me. So I was like, so what are we gonna do? Oh my goodness, y'all. So at this point, I think either I was trying to get Starbucks. Yes, I went to Starbucks before I realized my phone was gone. Why does this matter? Oh yeah, so our taxi, he was like, okay, we're gonna go back. We tell him, we're like, I'm sorry, I know you're about to take us somewhere, but she doesn't know where her phone, like, her phone's just been stolen. We got to figure out what's going on, like what we're about to do next. He was like, what? No, this is terrible. Like, he was so shooken, and I was shooken with him, like, yes, it's terrible. He's like, we're gonna go back in there and tell them to pull the cameras. I'm like, y'all do that here? Like, I'm getting excited at this point. Like, he got a whole game plan. I'm like, shoot, y'all don't play about y'all petty theft. Like, they about to get to the bottom of this. We about to crack the case. So we go in there. He has me backtrack to the Starbucks. We're asking around the Starbucks. And then, and then he's like getting the managers telling them we need to find, like, pull the cameras. Somebody stole her phone. And they're like, they're not here. Like, you can't just walk up to their office and do it. Like, it's a whole process. And then this is where a bad situation gets even worse. When it's different for somebody to steal something when you at home in your home country versus when you're somewhere foreign. Because the differences start coming in when you start executing your problem solving techniques that do not work in foreign soil like they do back home. So anybody knows if you have an iPhone, what's the first thing you do? Find my iPhone. So yes, thank you. My good man's, he gave me his phone so I could try and find my iPhone. You know, makes sense. Until you realize and remember that you're halfway around the world and you don't have a network out here. Like, you don't have service, my love. You're not connected to Wi-Fi. Like, what you looking up? Like, the phone isn't online. It's not on the grid. So I'm like, again, I'm like, well, shoot. Well, I guess we can't Find My iPhone because it's not connected to Wi-Fi and it's not on the network because this is my home country. And the only way I communicate with people is when I'm at, like, I say home, but you know what I mean, like Maria or our, do we use Ria's the whole time for Morocco? You get what I'm saying. My place where I'm laying my head is where I connect to Wi-Fi. I don't be connecting to public Wi-Fi because you ain't about to be stealing and corrupting my life. Like, not about it. Trust issues, you know? So we can't Find My iPhone. So at this point, I'm like reading the room like, it's really gone, Ty. Like, you're never gonna see it again. The taxi driver is fully upset and disappointed in his whole country, ready to just let them all go. I'm just like, you know, this really sucks. So then you start replaying everything. So you're like, okay, well, now we just got to make sure whoever stole it, they can't do anything, like they can't get into it. So I'm having my friend, he calling my dad, and he's like, hey, you know, Papa T, like, her phone is gone. What we need to do, like, you need, because the whole point of calling my dad is so that he could get online from his laptop in America to get into my account so that he could disable my phone, shut it down so that they couldn't steal my information or do whatever it is that criminals do when they steal the phone. So we're running that process with my dad, and he's still holding out hope, like, well, maybe we can find it, like trying to do the Find My iPhone. And I'm just supporting his empty hopes and dreams, knowing like it's not about to work, but I'm gonna keep trying because you trying for me, and maybe you can prove me wrong. Again, small bit of hope. So it turns out it didn't work. So he talks to the AT&T people, Papa T. He talks to the AT&T people and gets it all worked out. The phone is now a certified paperweight. So that relief is done. But now here we are, still at the point where I'm halfway around the world. The primary phone I was using is now gone. I'm thinking about all the things that I've lost now that this phone is not in my possession, because at the end of the day, it was the phone I used for work and content, as well as like personal pictures too, like, because it was the better camera. Mind you, preface, context, I have two phones. So I have the iPhone that was stolen, and I have the Android that I use for personal. Like, that's the number that's on Fort Knox. Like, if you got my personal number, I really rock with you. Like, that's how you know where you stand. Like, if I give you my iPhone number, we really not that cool. Like, you be getting excited seeing the blue bubbles, but you just know, like, you at the door. So you are not inside. So anywho, so I'm like, okay, well, I still have a phone, although it's not the best camera as far as, you know, like capturing memories, but I still have a phone, so I can also still reach my peoples when I get home at night, connected to certified secure Wi-Fi. So, like, you know, it could be worse. Like, and then again, my travel companions, they're like, well, look, it could have been the wallet, you know, not to be like, you know how sometimes it's like, well, I don't want to dismiss your bad situation by saying it could have been worse, but in the grand scheme of things, let's be glad it wasn't the wallet, because that would change everything. Because then I don't have a license, I don't have payment, like, whole shebang. But you know, the phone, you can get past the phone. So at this point, it's a done thing. So we make it back to the hotel. I'm like, at this point, just let me go to my room because I need to decompress. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. I really got in all my life of living, some 20-something years, I have never been pickpocketed. And then I do, and it's in a whole foreign country. Like, shook it. Like, I can't believe this is happening to me. So you gotta go through all the emotions, and then you mad. Like, how you gonna get me? Like, my daddy raised me like a soldier. Like, don't nobody be getting me. So then you gotta go through being mad. Like, F that person. Like, then you trying to figure it out in your mind, like, who was it? Like, who bumped me? You know? Like, you can backtrack and figure it out. It was a whole shebang. So I just sat in my room for a couple hours, processed, and I was like, okay, well, we're still here now. Trip's gonna keep going. You have a flight tomorrow to go to the next country, so make the most out of it. But last thing though, this is where I was upset. Last thing, and it's a first world problem, it's a first world complaint. I was also pissed off because they stole my green goblin. For those who don't know, I had the iPhone 13 Pro Max in Alpine green. And if you don't know, that was the colorway they dropped in between drops. Because, you know, they'll drop like their set of core colors, and then off season they'll drop, you know, those additional colors. You can get them colorways, and I got the Alpine green, bruh. Coveted. Hard to get. They weren't making them. They just announced they weren't going to make anymore. And these motherfuckers stole it. They stole my green goblin. I had the cutest case. It was clear with the little dragons. Man, that was another part. I was like, it's not even the fact that it is the fact. You stole my phone, but then you stole my limited edition phone? Like, are you crazy? Like, yeah. No, you are crazy, and you acted on it, and you really got me. They really got me. So yeah, I took the L, you know, patched myself up, shook it off, and got back out there. And so then for the rest of the trip, I took all of my content on my Android, or I asked to use the phone of my travel companions. So as I share the rest of this content, if you notice, sometimes the content looks a little like the quality is a little questionable. That's why. Give your girl some grace. And if you don't, I really don't care. F you. But that's why, because all of my Morocco content had to get sent back to me. And then everything from the other countries after that was taken on my Android for the most part. So again, unless my travel companion took it on their phone and then sent it to me. That's the only way I have iPhone quality content, is if that was the case. So yeah, that's what happened, and how my phone was stolen in Morocco. I was on the train. They caught me lacking for a split second. And this is what made it worse. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to tell y'all. When I was putting my phone in my pocket to get off the train, I literally said in my mind, I literally had the thought process in my mind, God tried to stop me. My spirits tried to warn me. The predators are lurking. Literally in my mind said, Ty, you know you're not supposed to put this in your jacket pocket like this. Somebody could pickpocket you. Like, you know you're supposed to put this tucked, like put up. And I still didn't do it because I was trying to move too fast. And I got God. So that should be a lesson to somebody. Listen to your gut always. Your gut is always trying to protect you, save you some steps. But honey, my God is greater, because I got all my content. And by the time I was back in America, my new phone was already ordered. I just had to wait on it to come in the mail. So I didn't miss anything from there. It wasn't green though, but I guess that's just particulars. It's not that important. But yeah, it could have been anybody, and it was me. That's my story, y'all. I hope it satisfied the tea. I hope it was some good tea and lived up to expectations. Yeah, welcome to my life. Guard your kids. Hide your wife. What's that? Hide your kids. Hide your wife. They out here, baby. It's a cold world out here. But don't let that deter you. Still go to Morocco. Still go to Africa. Still go to all these other countries. See the world. Crime is everywhere. Don't let it stop you. Have fun. Be great.